Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. Months ago, before the Xbox Series S came to market, I made a series of videos talking about what my belief was that the Xbox Series S was going to be an issue and that it wasn't going to live up to the expectations that people were having and the promises that Microsoft was making for the console. I will link those videos in the description section, and if you're on your phone or computer, you should see them pop up here throughout the video. Now, why was my belief then that the Xbox Series S wasn't going to be what Microsoft was saying that it will be, or what people were thinking that it will be? Is because clearly the system is underpowered on purpose to sell it for a lower price, market it to people who are not really interested on 4K and all the bells and whistles that the Xbox Series X has. But my main thing was that a lot of people were focusing on the backwards compatibility games and the fact that you could play some games with ray tracing and stuff. But as we have seen, games have come out already that play on the Xbox Series S. They are super underpowered. Some of those games don't even hit 1080p when you're playing them, which for a next-gen console is not very good. And I understand the argument that if you were to buy these parts for a PC, that it will be a lot more expensive and blah, but that doesn't matter because I'm not buying a PC. I am buying a console, right? If I wanted to buy a PC, then I will spend the money on a PC. So that argument about comparing it to what a PC will cost versus what you could get, to me means nothing. I am not looking to buy a PC. I am looking to buy a console. Yes, could you do more on the Xbox Series S that you could with the Xbox One S? Of course. I mean, here is a developer telling you one of the reasons why the Xbox Series S might be an issue during this console generation. This comes from WCCF Tech. They had an interview with, this is going to be hard to say, Alexander Shishkovtsov. Sorry, it's not that name. It's just really hard to read. So he is the chief technical officer for 4A Games, which is the developer of the Metro series. Metro Exodus is the latest game that they just came out with, and they also announced that it's going to receive a patch to upgrade the graphics for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Here's what he had to say. The RAM is not an issue for us currently, but GPU performance presents challenges for future titles. Our current renderer is designed for high spatial and temporal resolution, read 4K at 60 frames per second. It is stochastic by nature. Dropping any of those will require us to do more expensive calculations, dropping performance even further. We have a compromise solution right now, but I am not satisfied with it yet. They're currently working on a new Metro game, so this will be the fourth Metro game, because Exodus was the last one. And they're also working, according to the article, on a Metro multiplayer spin-off and a brand new IP. This is a developer that's working on current projects that are targeting what next gen is supposed to be, which is 4K at the bare minimum. As you know, developing a game costs money. And in order to change how this game is going to run in different consoles, changing the frame rate, changing the resolution, changing all those things cost money because you have to work in your engine to make the game run in those specific parameters. This is the reason why I was saying that the Xbox Series S could be an issue instead of being a great system, because now the studios are going to be forced to make their game run in a lower spec console, which means more time developing and more money developing for a console that really should not exist. I mean, I understand why Microsoft has it, because that's their entry, to get people to get Game Pass and things like that, and maybe cloud gaming. Seeing how cloud gaming is going to go into, you're going to be able to do cloud gaming on web browsers now. Technically, you could pull up the web browser on the Xbox Series S and play any game, even if it's a 4K game that the Xbox Series S cannot run. This is what my fear was when I heard about the Xbox Series S and the videos that I made on the Xbox Series S. And when the Xbox Series S, I said probably wasn't worth it. It's because it's a $300 console that has a very small amount of storage. It just cannot run games at full specs. I think that there's going to be a point based on this statement where studios are going to say, hey, we cannot make the game run on the Xbox Series S because we just don't have the capability, because we don't want to take the time. Or we're going to have the issues that we have had with Cyberpunk 2077 trying to run in consoles that are not capable of running the game. This is obviously something that we're going to see as games are developed in this current generation. We're going to see how the Xbox Series S is going to fare when it comes to those games, if it's going to be able to run it, if studios are going to be saying, hey, we're having issues running the game on your stupid little console. I mean, rumors are that Halo Infinite is going to probably ship at lower specs than they could have made it in order to make a run on Xbox Series S. The idea of generations when it comes to gaming is to, move forward, to develop into the future, to make something that was better. And yes, retro gaming has its space, and I do play old games and all those things, but you still have to move forward. And I feel like the Xbox Series S is something that Microsoft just put in there in order to grab a portion of the population instead of really saying, is this going to affect anything else when it comes to developing games? Of course, this might not be a problem because, as we know, Microsoft owns a bunch of studios now, so they're going to have a lot of exclusive titles coming up that hopefully will be able to run on the Xbox Series S at a adequate level. I personally, as I said before, don't understand why anybody will get an Xbox Series S. If you're going to buy an Xbox Series S, keep in mind that you have like a little over 300 gigs of available storage in there. That's going to take you like 3 games to fill up. Then that means you're going to have to buy the extra storage, which runs extra $150. At that point, you might as well just buy an Xbox Series X. And I know, of course, you cannot get your hands on either one, but I'm talking about in the future when you're able to get one. If you are in the market for an Xbox, save your money. Get an Xbox Series X. You have a better experience and you have more storage as well. What do you think? Do you think the Xbox Series S is going to be an issue for this current console generation? Let me know in the comment section. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.